The woman took a piece of glass in her thigh, then applied adhesive tape to treat the wound. Now a man comes in. It's too heavy. Do you need me to fix it for you? The woman heard that and removed the tape. I can't believe the wound just healed immediately. So she's a robot. The man is her owner. When robots are made this real, whether the male lead is mesmerized between the fake mixed male main. Nick was a very happy man. Happy family, career, a wife and 2 children. God always likes to tease people. One day Maggie's wife felt bad about her breasts, then dumped the hospital. When there is no wife around, Nick's life is in chaos. That day, Nick took the kids to a science fair. This is a high-tech company, studying all kinds of robots. For work reasons, Nick is very interested in home models. I don't care about those robot helpers. You think robots can't replace humans to meet human needs. At this point, Isla's daughter is gone. She ran up to the 2nd floor to look. When Nick came, he found a robot holding hands. Isla is raw. She saw the robot cooking rice. I remember my delicious cooking mother. She asked Nick if he could take her home. The salesperson immediately goes to Thu. Said this product is our key. They can do housework, child care. It can even mimic human emotions. After some hesitation, Nick signed the purchase contract. On a busy morning, the robot was also delivered. Because robots are so human-like, Nick treated it like a stranger, but the robot very quickly got to work. Asked Nick to send me the children's schedule and the living habits of each person. The robot also detected some stairs shaking. Nick is the host. You can control the mission and update the robot system. Isla named the robot Alice. Nick is going to take his daughter to school, so tell Alice to stay home and clean the house. First, Alice remembers the shopping list, then clean the bedroom. Look at the picture of Nick and his wife at the bedside. I know their feelings are strong. Nick picked them up at home in the afternoon. The whole house is clean. Alice also finished dinner, but Isla's finished. I feel bad because it doesn't taste the same as my mom. Then the little boy started crying. Alice said take the baby upstairs. Nick is not comfortable. Leave your son alone. Let her watch. Until evening, Alice sets the sleep state. Isla tittied up downstairs. She stood up in the chair and took the box of cookies from the cupboard. The chair's legs swayed dangerously. Nick is working on the floor. I just heard screams and broken glass. I hurried down to check on the situation. Alice was lucky to save Isla. Nick noticed that Alice's leg was hit by glass. I was a little worried, so I went to Alice. As a result, she's dressing her wounds. We're only underwear. Nick was a little awkward. Alice's wounds quickly healed. Only now Nick is sure. Alice is just a machine. The next day, Nick took the kids to the Timeri. Alice pushes Sonoy's youngest son to appear. Meiji is a little awkward. I feel that the machine has replaced my position. I thought you needed a maid. I don't know why your daughter chose her. After visiting his wife, Nick went to the construction site, followed the work. I saw the people from the robotics company. Call the enemy into the elevator. Call the enemy. How much do you want to replace the machine? These workers are all real people. Rely on this work to feed the family. But capital doesn't care. Machine jobs labor instead of people. It's both efficient and economical. They said Nick didn't have to worry. We didn't fire you either. After all, robots need to be managed by humans. There's no better AI than an engineer like Nick. Even in my heart, I don't want to. But his wife's exorbitant hospital fees. Nick can't lose this job. At night, Nick came home tired. Alice is quick. Nick was in a bad mood. So Theo asked Holland in the garage. Nick didn't have an AI to talk to, even though robots don't have emotions, but the best listener. Then Alice coaxed Isla to bed. Curious little girl asked at how robots do not brush their teeth. Alice opens her mouth inside. It's ultraviolet. When Alice came downstairs, Nick was watching a movie. Alice doesn't understand this kind of entertainment. Her processor has a lot of data. You don't need to see the content. Nick heard that. Immediately said, watching movies doesn't have to be memorizing content in the brain. It's as simple as that. A movie. Or it's the emotional transmission of that movie. I asked Alice to sit down, and then delete data related to her movie. To people watching a movie together. Alice is quietly changing. At this time, Meiji called. She said the doctor found a compatible organ. It's finally possible to have a heart transplant. The next day, Nick went to the hospital. Before Mgi surgery, I want to talk to Alice alone. I know Nick will take good care of you. She was worried that her husband would be cold to her. I want Alice to take care of Nick. Alice said I couldn't disobey my master's orders. Messi explained, sometimes taking care of someone, they also have to do what they don't like. Even hate. Everything has to be thought long term. I can't believe something happened again. To make the organ flight, can't take off. Aki lost the chance for surgery. The most painful thing in the world is hope. There are 7 more hopes. Even Nick couldn't help it. Alice found out. Hold my hand, hold my wine bottle. I advised the owner to drink. The child now discovered that she had a heartbeat. Alice explained, heartbeats can help children calm down. This is a small design. Alice can feel Nick's heartbeat. Her hands slid down his pants. Nick can't resist the honey. The sound of the bottle kept me awake. Nick is out for a run, but I had a different feeling for Alice. Sodium is getting more and more depressed right now. I've been talking to Nick lately and he's always trying to talk to me. What to do later? It made Nick very upset, especially looking at this picture of the family. Your neighbor feels very alone. At this time, Nick noticed that Maggie's picture had been deleted. Go ask Alice, she explained. Leaving a picture just hurts Nick. He ordered her to restore the image immediately. Nick went to the bar for a drink. The workers who were fired couldn't find a job. Anyway, now to the staff. The bartender is also a robot. No one hired them anymore. Annoyed, Monty thought of a fun thing to do. They took Nick to the construction site. Nick has a bad feeling. I want to stop them from doing this, but the enemy caught you. Say out the password to the robot management room. Monty wakes up the robot and bangs it in the head. Nick went home. Try to scrub away the all on your body. Alice came to give me the towel. You're wearing a sexy nightgown, she said. Mom's smell can make Nick more peaceful, but I don't want the robot to wear my wife's clothes. Alice took it off. She cornered Nick against the wall with a blindfold. I told you to imagine yourself as Maki. Eventually, you to cross the moral line. After Nick woke up, he was so sorry. I warned Alice not to do it again. Nick's company is in big trouble. Who can open the machine shop? Just count on your fingers. Once Shara is Nick, you just lose your job. Your boss suspects you the most. Nick can only explain the password. It's my daughter's birthday. Others are easy. I guess my boss heard that and ignored me for the time being. Magi called the hospital at this time. There's more organs that are compatible with CA. This surgery was very successful. It wasn't long before Mikey showed up home, because you haven't fully recovered. So it's still in Alice's hand. In the afternoon, Alice took her little boy shopping. As a result, a child screams to wake the child up. Alice ordered him to shut up. This action immediately caught the attention of other robots. I am a professional. When setting up, I've allowed me to ignore these agreements. Alice's flight was against the norm. Messi went to the kitchen to cook. Who expected you to feel dizzy? I almost dropped the pot. Fortunately, Alice reacted quickly. Isla was very happy to eat the rice she cooked, better than Alice did. Alice was a little sad to hear that, but Messi didn't give me the formula. That morning there was Isla's scream downstairs. Messi rushed downstairs. Results, their handrails fall off. You fell down the stairs. Alice rushed Messi into the room. Nick came home from work. I heard Messi reading to his daughter. Who would have thought that when you got to the top, it was Alice? Don't do that anymore, imitate the voice. Isla likes this voice. I know, but his mother is here. She can read the story herself. Alice can only explain. Messi fell down the stairs today. To make Messi happy, Nick flew a candlelight dinner. You didn't let Alice chime in. From Nick that Mikey had a sweet dark night. The result was cut off by Alice. She said Isla had a nightmare asking to see you. Alice Chen is so flat that Nick is no longer interested. And now Monchi is coming. He said the studio is investigating him and charged with trespass, destruction of property to prosecute him. Monchi has no job now. His wife also left. Nick is going to take some solace. It was thought to be Nick. Shoot him standing. Monty said he would go to court. You said you were involved in sabotage. The two men exchanged words and punched each other. Monchi knocked Nick down with a bottle of wine. Nick saw that and stopped Alice. Monchi doesn't give up. He's determined to drag Nick into the water. After that, Alice helped Nick with his injury. Logically speaking, robots can't attack humans. Alice is breaking the rules of robotics. She doesn't realize she did the wrong thing. Messi doesn't have much longer to live. Children can't lose their father. Nick was very upset. You'll never be Messi, never. She knows 7 hopes. She knows pain, scars on the body. It can prove that she is a living person. Monty is trying to grab his wife all the way, but the enemy accidentally hung up the phone. And now the one knocking on the door is Alice. He thought she came to replace Nick. Sorry, but Alice said, I'm here to stop you. It ruined Nick's life. Monty noticed something unusual and pulled out his gun. But then Alice hit him in the arm. A normal person. It's no match for a tough robot. Monty fell to the ground, unable to move. Alice is about to pull the trigger. Another robot maid came to stop. He also wants to protect the owner. Alice shoots the robot in the head. Then shoot Monty. The next day, Nick met his superiors who wanted to spray him. If the lawsuit is dropped, Monkey is dead. Because of this, Nick didn't come home until late at night. Alice brought this to the top. She said sodium sickness. It's a burden on this house. Nick doesn't have to work hard, but even physiological needs are not satisfied. I can replace you as Nick's wife. I was a little shocked when I heard that. The robot wants to sleep with her husband. With Alice's mind, it seems like you've slept together before. Tell Alice to get off the galaxy. After Nick came back, there's something wrong with sodium. Sitting at the table drinking, you get straight to the point. You said I knew you were having an affair. The enemy is also a robot. When the two of them were arguing, the boy upstairs was crying. Alice goes up. She put the baby in the bathtub and turned on the faucet. Isla saw her in a hurry to find her parents. Alice wanted to drown her brother. Nick heard that and knocked on the door. And sodium runs out the window. Alice is sitting there right now. Nick's anger, because this little boy is a burden to the family. She just wants to solve the problem for the owner. Take care of the owner. They have to do what they don't like. Sodium is the one who said this. At this point, Alice discovered. Outside the window, she's cornered Messi against the wall. Nick knocked on the door. I held Baby Raw and threw a light on Alice's head. The robot doesn't understand why Nick is so angry. She can handle the light. At the right time, Messi plugged in the wires that cut Alice's circuit. Then Nick called an ambulance. Take your son to the hospital for observation. Maki told me not to follow. You want to be calm. Nick watched his wife leave. What about Alice being taken to a tech company? The technicians are checking out her program. One noticed Alice's hand moving. The staff now open Alice's source code. Alice can choose false memory and give instructions. Immediately after the screen appears malfunction, Alice's source code gets into the server. She woke up from another body, stabbing the technician to death. The rest is hard to escape. Alice looked at her tattered body. She used her original body to meet Nick. Because you said, scars can prove it's human. She said I did everything for you. If it wasn't for me, Monty would have cost you your job. After listening to the enemy, maybe Raw killed Monkey. He warned Alice to stay away from her family. But now it's too late. Alice copied her source code to another body, and he went to the hospital. Nick wants to chase him, but Alice holds him back. I just called the robot guy at the bar. Alice immediately turned off the power. Nick pretends to be sorry, Alice. Then, when the enemy doesn't pay attention, they attack her. Over here, Magi lets her daughter sleep on the couch to go to the toilet. I can't believe she heard her mother's voice. Then the lights in the hallway went dark. Itla men follow the voice to find mom. I saw this out Alice coming. Magi managed to pull her daughter in time. She didn't see you. She strangled. Medical on duty seeking admission information. Mikey took the opportunity to take her daughter back to the ward. She was accidentally cut by a piece of glass. She hugged her son and Isla went into hiding. Alice noticed the blood on the floor. She turned on the ultraviolet light and looked at her mouth. Yeast followed the traces of blood forged. Mikey let her daughter turn on the fire extinguisher. My mother ran away at that time. Nick can't call Messi forever. Extremely worried. At the same time, though, Messi was in the ambulance, but the car failed to start. And then the car door was pulled out. Alice grabs Sodium thrown down the street. Alice pulls Messi's shirt ready to be pulled out. Your heart is beating. If I had this heart, Nick would love her. At this moment, a car is coming. I saw my wife kick Alice. Nick pedals strong foot got car's engine immediately ignited. Sodium rush pull Nick out. But I'm in a coma. Suddenly there was a sound of Alice walking in the background. She rushed to get Sodium, and then pull out the iron bar that's bent on the side to crash down the Sodium. Nick held the iron bar to Alice's head. Two married couples work together. Sodium also holds the iron stick. To solve this scary hag, not long after Nick woke up in his hospital bed. Fortunately, your wife and children are safe. After this, they promised to protect each other. Move the scene to the tech company. Authorities found two bodies of employees. He had his subordinates start the computer. Delete all data. I thought the robot next to me was standing still. A brand new Alice awakens. The movie is here to end. Above is the entire content of the film. Newly launched. Subservience. Do you see this movie or not? If it looks good, comment number 1. This is normal. Comment number 2. Thank you for your interest. Follow. Hello and see you later.